again playing Russia. The last session was very annoying for me, although I guess for viewers it might have been interesting. There was a continuation of the war between Japan and Jeff, which I was expecting to lose, but yeah, it was quite devastating over here in Manchuria, and then keep getting destroyed by German troops because my army composition was quite bad. The tech was still quite behind. I did not, at that point, I did not have army decision making, and Germany was just far superior in battles. At some point, Austria did declare war for containment on Germany, but that didn't change things too much because it kind of came too late, and there were some deals where Italy wouldn't join on Austrian side. Austria offered to sell Venice if Italy joins on his side against Germany. That didn't happen, so I think that war ended in white peace or some sort of an agreement, which basically forced me into losing the war against Japan, which was again kind of expected, but whatever. So what happened was I lost entire state of Kiev, which is this plus these two. Now the thing is, these two are actually bigger part of Kiev. This one only has 700 population. Well, this one also has like 700, so in total it's 1.5 million population that I lost. Not too many people were happy about this deal because Japan, just quite a silly war goal. It's basically just a very annoying thing to deal with because it's because of the game mechanics. You cannot declare on Japan for this because it's a puppet, and you can't declare on Poland, Lithuania because it's a puppet, which is quite stupid. But whatever. Actually, I think it was a release Ukraine and not Poland, Lithuania. In any case, what happened was Japan went over infamy for that, and for some reason he agreed to get contained by France. I think the reason was so that when you're contained, you burn infamy quicker than the normal, and I think that was the deal. So he got contained. Once I saw he got contained, I just reorganized my army quickly and redeclared war on Japan. Broke the truce, declared war for I think Kiev. Here, the part of it. Now he did release Poland, Lithuania also from Kiev, which is quite stupid. I don't think that should be possible, but whatever. And NGF agreed to stay out of the war if I just go for those two states, or basically I get the state and this is cancelled. Like the satellite status of Poland, Lithuania is cancelled, which I requested, and NGF agreed to that, but Japan surrendered before this could have been added. So then I went for Manchuria, basically breaking the deal. But really, honestly, if I wasn't getting Poland, Lithuania back entirely, then the truce break wouldn't have been worth it. Now, yes, we did hurt Japan a bit, but it's really not a big of a deal. But in the end, we ended up winning Manchuria back, which I think was amazing, and we got part of Kiev. Now, the annoying thing, Poland, Lithuania is still kind of free, but can't do much about that. That will have to wait for some other war in the future. Now, the cool thing that I got here is that we have land liberty labor in Manchuria, which is incredibly crazy because Manchuria already has a very high population, and with this, the population in Manchuria will be extremely high. Now, this is sick, but this also makes it a huge target, so everyone will be looking to get it, and that's why this current war is very important for me, because it cannot afford to lose Manchuria. It's way too big. If Japan gets it, it's basically the death sentence of Russia. Yes, I've been telling this on stream, how ridiculous Japan is, how ridiculously strong they are, and this war actually comes to prove it. Japan has the advantage of Russia when it comes to literacy. It's far easier to defend it. It has, well, basically right now it has only free province-wide border with all the troops they can get from mobilization and from everything. They can basically probably get the same amount of troops from mobilization as Russia right now, because they have so much accepted population compared to our population, which only 14.8 million is accepted out of 22 million. And I think that's far better when it comes to Japan. Let's see. I think at least 80% or 90% is accepted. Actually, far less. That's quite surprising. In any case, they have huge technological advantage because of the higher literacy. You can see that they are at 50%. Meanwhile, Russia is at 36, and that's with me pushing for extreme amount of clergymen and all the literacy tax very early. Well, that's a huge commitment in Russia, but the payoff will only come later when we start industrializing. I only started industrializing when this war broke out. So our industry is not sufficient to support this war. Now, the war is actually over Venice. And let me zoom out here to the political situation. Now, this, in theory, this seems balanced, but the realistic side of it is that I'm useless, UK is kinda useless, and then this is the war between Austria-Hungary, France, Italy, and Germany. Japan, well, they are gonna break through here eventually. We do still have some troops there. They will slow them down, but they will take a lot of time to siege Russian lands over here, and that's a lot of attrition because I still don't have railroads there. I don't even know if he has all the tax for supply limit. So if you just choose to walk over here and just ignore the sieging and just go into the battles, it'll take extremely high attrition. So I don't think that's an actual viable choice. It might be, but I honestly doubt it. I don't think that can work out. We'll see what he decides to do, but if it does that, then they'll probably win, but I don't know how many troops will get killed to attrition. If it doesn't have enough manpower to support his attrition, then what might happen is that he gets to, for example, over here, but all of his troops are out of men, and then if he starts losing battles, it will be devastating for Japan. On the other hand, in Europe, we are not doing that amazingly well, but it seems much better than I had actually thought in the game. So Italy is getting pushed out over here heavily, and we outnumber them by quite a bit here. Have Byzantium, Yugoslavia, and UK reinforcing here, all of them. Now that's basically a 4-on-1, and Italy is losing heavily. Those are some heavy casualties on their side. In Germany there were some small skirmishes, nothing major, at least not yet now. They definitely outnumber me here, but I think I have very good generals over there. I think I have a 5 defense one somewhere over there. I know I had like 2 attack, 5 defense general. That's my saving grace if they start attacking. Now I was thinking in the game whether I should push into Germany or should I just fall back and let them take attrition. The bad thing about falling back is that they can circle around me here and basically come from the rear into Austria. But if Austria sets up a defensive line in mountains and those forests, then it will be very hard for them, and basically for France and Germany to push into Russia would probably just be waste of manpower because of attrition. I don't think that's a good choice for them, because the only way we can actually win this is if they start throwing troops around, like knocking their manpower to siege stuff, when actually anything that they can siege is actually quite worthless unless it's Austrian capital or, I don't know, maybe Bohemia, because everything else will give them a very, very low war score, and it probably won't matter now. The battle war score is 50% into their favor because of the battles, but I think we might be able to crush Italy very, very soon. I don't think they have any reinforcements, any decent reinforcements at least, over here to support Italian war effort. And if Italy is crushed, then everything is actually possible. From what I know, Spain is definitely staying out of this war. Now the question is, UK did lose a naval superiority, but I don't think this landing of French troops into British mainland is possible. Britain can still mobilize, and I actually think if France starts landing here and committing to this, he will lose badly. Eventually, if UK starts mobilizing, then he will just outnumber France like 10-1 or 5-1 in Britain, and it's not that late into the game where defense will actually have such superiority over attack. So even if France gets to land here first, I think he will just he might even get stacked white, depending on how those battles go. I don't think this is actually a viable strategy for them, unless Germany also builds a navy and starts deploying troops into UK. Then they might win if they force out UK out of the war, but I don't think that's a viable strategy here. For our side, I think the key is to knock out Italy of the war. And if Italy is out, Italy is currently the war leader, so they will have to add some war goals. If Italy is out, then that opens up a lot of possibilities. Italy is forced to give military access to everyone if they get pieced out, which means we can then go into France from the south. We can redirect all the troops from the Italian front to the northern front and to Germany. Japan doesn't really matter in this war, honestly. I can't really push him. There is no way that can happen. The most I can do here is slow down, and I'm definitely not gonna commit too much troops to the Japanese front. I think this is quite lost. It's definitely an uphill battle, and the best I can do is just slow him down. Honestly, I don't even know how much Japan will commit to this war. We might even be able to offer Japan a separate peace if things don't go too well in Europe. What could realistically happen is that Italy gets overrun, but at the same time I might get overrun here before my mobilization kicks in. And then we end up in a situation where Italy is crushed, but I need time to rebuild, and depending on the situation in the war, if we think that we can win against France and Germany, we might peace out Japan, because Japan doesn't stand to gain too much from this war. and I don't know if fighting for a very long time actually benefits him. It might, but that's like personal preference. Now, one thing I'm gonna try to do is, since I have a lot of troops, but the artillery takes a lot of time to build, I might just try to build a lot of cuirassiers and just throw them into the battles where we have a numerical superiority and see if they can flank like a lot. It's especially effective if the battle is going on for a long time and the frontline troops are getting killed quickly, that they're out of manpower there, and then if you bring out cuirassiers, in theory they should just take over the front line and they should flank the shit out of enemy's front line, so they can do a lot of damage. The really good thing is that we got Byzantium and Yugoslavia into this war, and they are providing a lot of help. Without their troops, I don't think we would be able to win this war, but currently Byzantium actually has not committed to actual battles. It will happen very soon, but so far it was only Yugoslavia and Austria-Hungary pushing into Italy. Now British reinforcements also came here, and I think I have some British stacks over there. I know they were landing some troops in St. Petersburg, but I don't know how many. Oh, that's a good thing. It should be fairly balanced war, I want to say. Now Russia is at its weakest right now because I only just started industrializing, so my industry is quite weak, as you can see in number 8, although it was number 16 in the beginning of the session. Oh, it's just terrible. But we're slowly industrializing, and once our industry kicks in, then if the war is very, very long, then we'll definitely have the upper hand, because then my manpower comes into play, and actually they won't be able to sustain heavy losses, which we're definitely going to be able to do, because we just have more population overall. And UK can still make some big plays and actually win this war for us, but it all depends on how much he can commit. Also, his navy, I think, is all over here. 100 ships. I don't know if he has any troops on those boats actually. Let me let's see. No, he doesn't. But what he can do with these ships is he can just blockade entire Japan and cause massive war exhaustion, which not only will actually result in war exhaustion, but it's also it should give us some war score, which is not bad, not something to be ignored. In the long run, we'll definitely win the war unless France and Germany break through Austria-Hungary somehow over here, Bohemia or Bavaria. I don't think that's possible. I don't know at what percentage Austria is when it comes to mobilization. Oh, he's only at 52, so I definitely don't think they can actually push through. And Austria has a lot of artillery, so it doesn't seem like France and Germany can actually win there. I don't know what their plan is. I have some theories and I will share it with my allies, but we'll see. Currently it does seem like France is willing to commit to landing into UK, which I think is a mistake. Now, it's actually very hard to play UK here, because there are a lot of things they can do. They can blockade Japan, they can even invade Japan in some islands if they manage to seal off the crossings. They can also shift all the troops from India to Russia and over here. Now they can also rebuild the fleet, beat the French fleet, then blockade France fully, blockade Germany, blockade Italy, which will give them massive war exhaustion and also give us naval superiority that we need Because we are able to land into, for example, Sicily, Sardinia, then we'll definitely win. Or at least kick out Italy after the war. Now, fairly interesting session that should be this one. During the week I'm gonna make another video where I'm gonna talk about metagame and why I don't currently like it, what I would change, but I don't see any changes in the mod that would force a change in metagame, honestly. I think it's just the group, that the core of the group that played for so long together and is just used to one style of playing and is not willing to change things up. So when I talk about this, they just regard it as bullshit and they don't care about it too much. But I don't know, I just guess, like, if I talk to people, maybe they will change their mind, but right now they seem quite stubborn, so I don't know if there will be a change in the metagame. I would really like to see something that we have in a hash U4 game where everyone is actually trying to win the game for themselves, and comparison only Gurn here, and perhaps Vincino, when he plays, are actually trying to win the game. But other people, they are mostly like happy with what they have or what they should have, and then after that they don't really care what happens, which I think is very boring for like entirety of the game. But another topic for a new video. Anyway, see you guys later today. Should be a fun session. Thanks for watching. Have fun.